Hi Mela, good morning.
Hi, good
Kamusta?
morning, sir. Eto, walang ligo, pero maganda.
The reason why I wanted to interview you is because I want to talk about like you being a trans celebrity and also the opportunities that you gain out of positioning yourself like that. So first, ang question ko is that when you when you started out like hosting, acting, did you actively try to brand yourself as a trans actor, a trans MC, a trans host? Or is that something that came naturally because you were out, like people saw how you transitioned, di ba, na parang you came out as a trans.
Actually, I think I could position myself in both aspects. Na it came naturally because I transitioned and people saw it publicly. And also at the same time, it was intentional to really uh, put it on my brand so that people would recognize that I am a trans woman and this is what a trans woman can do. Kumbaga parang it's part of my way of educating people from the Philippines to see what it's like to be trans. So parang intentional na siya sa akin na dapat nakakabit dun sa identity ni Miss Mela. Kaya nga rin, 'di ba, parang intentional, I am Miss Mela. So that people would constantly be reminded that Miss Mela is a trans woman. And this is the definition of a trans woman. And this is what a trans woman can do, can offer in terms of media and entertainment.
I was reading an article recently na parang si Hunter Schafer kasi like she said na she no longer wants to play transgender roles. And I'm thinking that's coming from a place of, like she's an out and proud like trans woman, but she doesn't want to be typecast in those particular roles. Is that what do you think about that? Is that something that you feel na, when you get roles na always you get roles na not just for women, but like you're typecast into like, this is a trans woman role.
I don't mind being typecasted for a trans role. And I understand where Hunter is coming from because it's revolutionary for a trans person to take on any role, just like Jonathan Bailey, for example, who can
With
on,
Bridgerton,
yes, of Bridgerton, who can take on street roles, diba? Currently, he is seen in straight characters. But on my end, because we're coming from a culture that still wants or still needs rather to be educated about the trans experience, I don't mind to be put in that light because it matters. Representation matters. So if I am given the chance to be an instrument for understanding, for opening up the conversation of what trans stories are, I would embrace it with all my heart because it is needed. In the Philippines, uh, I guess entertainment in the US or entertainment in the UK, they're more advanced and they have more advanced policies in terms of social cultural aspects. Um, kaya I support the move of Hunter. Pero sa atin, I won't mind if I will be typecasted. Besides, ang layo pa natin, ang layo pa ng pangunawa ng Pilipinas pagdating sa kung ano ang transgender. At yun yung kailangan siguro nating mas palaliman pa so that we can go to that route in which those trans kids who aspire to be actors and actresses in the future can pivot themselves in the direction where Hunter wants to head in terms of career.
as someone who worked in the media industry, because before you actually transition, you were working for ABS, diba? And
Yes.
you were working in the industry. So you've seen, I would say, how, like depictions of like queer people, not just trans people, but queer people in the industry, like yung journey, diba? So do you think na we're getting better in terms of like representing queer people right now, like as before? Or would you say na like parang nag-fluctuate pa rin siya na sometimes like it's good, sometimes like it's still a bit stereotypical or like, not really empowering?
I think we are slowly moving forward, and that's a good thing because we are in a learning curve, and that's what I acknowledge. So, along the way, there will be mistakes, and I welcome mistakes. Along the way, there will be criticisms in terms of representation, and I welcome that because that's how learning goes. Hindi naman siya overnight na, uy, alam na natin kagad kung paano yung representation of LGBTQ plus characters. No, it doesn't work that way. But what I acknowledge right now is that at the forefront of the change in the narratives, of course, nakita natin kung paano yung tragic LGBTQ love stories became a source of kilig through the birth of girls' love and boys' love and trans love stories. Slow movement, definitely slow movement. But these movements are crucial para yung springboard natin towards that um, narration na, okay, hindi na lang siya one in a million stories. But eventually, it will become a natural rom-com story which can be featured once, twice, thrice, 10 times, 'di ba? In any television or film format. Um, so we right now, of course, we have Spark Scam, for example, which is for me revolutionary in terms of presenting queer dating. Drag Race Philippines and Drag Den are crucial aspects um, to see not just LGBTQ plus entertainers, but also at the same time present the stories of these drag queens and their excellence at the same time. Uh, at sana ma-foster pa natin yung representation. I take pride with Kalad Karen in the news, being the first best supporting actress in MMFF. You have EJ Halierina, you have Sasa Girl, trailblazing LGBTQ plus Gina Rosero, yes. Gina Rosero, who opened the gates, 'di ba, for trans in the modeling industry and the entertainment industry. Ang dami, Isabel Sandoval, 'di ba? Ang dami nating ire-recognize at sana mas marami pang mangarap. Yun naman yung parang vision ko, as someone who's now in the media. I hope a lot of LGBTQ plus people will aim to dream of this route because it's really possible now. Mas yun yan eh. Ngayon, posible na tayo to be at the forefront of narratives that you can be a host, you can be a best supporting actress, you can be a model, you can be in the entertainment and media na hindi ka na lang slapstick character, na hindi ka na lang best friend. Pwede kang bumida sa mga kwento natin.
Speaking of representation, because this was the issue before, di ba, na parang we were clamoring for, we want to be represented like in films. We want to be represented in advertising. We want to be represented in basically like the different industries where we used to be not represented. And then we saw there was a shift. Like I think a couple of years ago na parang we saw na okay, like parang now brands started featuring like parang queer people. I remember there was a commercial by Smart where there was a queer couple, and then there was the controversial bench like billboard. So suddenly like parang brands
Close up now.
and close
Yung
up
close
now.
up. Ang ganda ng close up
Yeah.
now.
So technically, basically like parang brands have started to pay, have started to like really notice us, and we see na we are getting represented. But I think like parang what I want to ask is that now the issue of like pink washing comes in, di ba? Na parang, do you feel na it's enough that we just get represented, and like parang it's awareness enough na parang we exist? No, how do we move forward beyond like representation?
Definitely, representation is not enough, but it's a good starting point. It's the good foundation of where we should go. Because at the end of the day, what we want is a change of culture in which inclusion, respect for diversity, equality and equity, and belongingness are valued. Kasi,
Mm.
yes, while we celebrate the fact that we're now given opportunities by brands, by partnering with us, I am one of the lucky ones who have partnered with these brands. But I also look into what these brands are doing, 'di ba? Outside of just merely getting me. Because it shouldn't end with me. Yun naman yun. But it must continue what they're telling, because that's authenticity, 'di ba? Authenticity of of being our allies, 'di ba? So I
Yeah.
look into I've partnered with Pantene, I've partnered with now I'm partners with L'Oreal. I look into their policies. I look into the benefits of their employees. I look into um how they can foster or the advocacy, for example. I remember, and this will be one of the highlights of me partnering with a brand, when trans girls found it hard to go to their graduation ceremonies. I asked for the help of Pantene, if they could help us in mounting the photo shoot for four trans girls in 2022. And they said yes. Na parang they helped me mounted this graduation photo shoot kasi nga pinapagupitan sila ng buhok. So the only thing that I could give these girls is baka paggawan dito na lang tayo mag-photo shoot. Dito na lang natin gawin. And Pantene did not hesitate to help. So ibig sabihin, nakikita natin kung saan papunta yung representation of them getting me as their ambassadress. And that's what matters most. Kasi hanggang saan ba aabutin yung pakikiisa? That's what we want, 'di ba? That even if pride ends, what what message or what activities can they contribute so that we can ensure that we foster um, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belongingness, not just into their workplace culture, but into the society as well. So nag-expand siya dapat.
Do you think that parang there are more brands that are more conscious of like being accused of pinkwashing? I remember there's a makeup brand recently na parang they were accused of like parang using, like parang queer people during Pride Month. Pero like parang after that, like they don't really do anything like for the community. So do you think na parang one, is the community more aware or like parang more cautious of like parang with these like brands or like companies? And two, do you think like parang you as a trans influencer, like a celebrity, like you are ambassador of like different brands, do you think brands are starting to pay attention and like really listen and say na what can we do more?
I think brands are more aware of where their allyship with the LGBTQ plus community or even with climate change, for example. I want to go beyond that because we're talking about pinkwashing and greenwashing, and these are sustainable goals, diba, of the companies right now. Um, uh, nakikita ko yung consciousness, hindi na lang siya dapat nagpapalit ng profile picture into rainbows, 'di ba? Na hindi na lang siya magso-sponsor ng Pride, kung hindi natututo na rin yung brands and companies on how to properly do allyship within their companies, and also at the same time extending it outside of the four corners of their buildings. And that's what matters most, because um the value that it pertains is that yung cultural shift, the behavioral shift, the mindset shift occur, 'di ba? Na
Mm.
parang dahil sa consciousness ngayon, mas nagiging tama yung allyship. Dahil sa consciousness na yon, mas nagiging sincere yung shifts. And it becomes a way of life. And I see that with the brands that I've worked before. And I also witnessed yung mga insincere brands na nakilala natin along the way. That distinguishes, 'di ba? Kung sino talaga yung nagfo-forward ng goal to sustain social justice, environmental justice, and not just business perspective alone.
So about the opportunities that you get, diba? Like parang you get sponsorships, like you get brand partnerships. Um, I want to talk about like you as a trans like influencer. Do you think that there are more opportunities coming in for like trans people like in the entertainment industry? And do you think that you can afford to be more critical and you can afford to, um say no to like parang some partnerships that you feel would compromise like your position in the advocacy, like you being an advocate, and also like sort of like a representation of the community.
Definitely, I leverage on my being an advocate with my line of work as a host and as an actress at the same time because yung first question nga, mahalaga ba yung brand na transgender ako? Yun yung foundation eh. 'Di ba? The foundation will be I'm a transgender person who advocates for equal rights. And if that is my core, whatever I do with my life, dapat doon ako sa center, doon ako a-anchor. That being said, yes, I can afford to be critical. More so, baka nga hindi critical. Baka yun yung venue ko to open up conversations para matuto din yung mga brands that I partner with. Because maybe along the way, ang intention nila is good, pero baka mali pa yung ginagawa nila at the moment. Do I shut them off right then and there? My point of view right now is no. Because maybe I could leverage it so that these people can learn. 'Di ba? Mas dun ko na nakikita yung sarili ko rather than being a policewoman saying na, "Mali ang ginagawa niyo, dapat hindi ganyan." Kung hindi may mali sa ginagawa natin, baka puwede nating itama. And that's where collaboration comes in. And that's the beauty of having conversations kasi dun nag-i-improve yung, at naso-solidify yung mga bagay na ginagawa natin ngayon. So, when it comes to, um, uh, and it's also a good thing that I have a management right now who's very caring, not just of my career, but um of the advocacy that we stand by. And they also know where I'm coming from. At malinaw sa Rise Artist Studios na ganito, ganito yung positioning. And uh, so far so good, I guess. So far so good. We're able to extend help to those who need help in understanding the community. We're also able to ignite change. And that's what matters most.
Is it a matter of like them really, doing some soul searching, or is it a matter of like the fear of being canceled? Na, like obviously na parang queer people now are more vocal, I would say, which is a good thing because like now we're able to say out loud that we exist, that we're here, we're not gonna shy away, we want equal rights. And brands are scared that okay, like if they commit pinkwashing, like the queer community is gonna be out there looking. So is that like basically like you think something that brands are scared of, getting canceled by the queer community?
It could be a mixture of both. And I must admit that there's also an element of fear of getting canceled, quote unquote, getting canceled or getting called out or getting boycotted by our community because I see our strength now. 'Di ba? Now more than ever, ang lakas ng amplification ng boses ng LGBTQ plus community because we're now drivers of we're no longer afraid to be silenced. At yun yung beauty nun, yun yung beauty nun.
I was just gonna say na funny nga na parang when I read comments like a lot of people outside of the community parang say na no we now na parang we can't express anything because we're scared of like na parang magda-dive in ang queer community and suddenly cancel us. And then the thought in my head was, well, because you were just so used to us like not saying anything, that now that we're finally like parang expressing ourselves and like parang asserting our right to be here, now you feel like you're being oppressed when in fact like you're just being demanded to share the space that we all live in.
That's a very beautiful reflection, and I think that's that's the important message that should be grounded right now, because I feel like people still misunderstand the amplification of LGBTQ plus rights. That at the end of the day, it's not taking away their voices, but it's a mere fact of us saying we have voices too. We must be heard too. And the way that we did things before shouldn't be the way things should be done. Kasi may mali doon, may oppression doon. So now, na nagkaroon tayo ng space to simply voice it out and for people to hear us, that's a huge thing. Now, kung ma-offend sila, dahil malakas yung boses natin, baka kailangan ng self-reflection at kailangan nating balikan yung ground na how strong has the cisgender heterosexual people or the patriarchal society for that matter, because I still recognize, of course, the silencing of women, 'di ba? Gaano ba kalakas ang boses ng lalaki for the longest time? 'Di ba? Yun yung kailangan nating i-acknowledge. So it's not about silencing, it's also not about, imposing fear, but us reminding that this is how it should be done, and hopefully they do it. Baka rin siguro to be, uh, to, uh, hindi to be critical, but also to look into how we do things as a community. Baka meron din tayong kailangang improve in terms of communicating our messages. Baka kailangan din nating tignan yon na
So kailangan din natin ng self-reflection, you're saying.
self-reflection. Yes, kailangan ng self-reflection ng LGBTQ plus community, because we might be, okay, now may boses tayo. Ay, parang, baka, baka hindi rin effective. Baka hindi rin effective. I don't know. I don't know um, yung kung ano yung tamang mechanism, but definitely there is always a right combination of conversation, of how conversations should be done, because to a certain extent, yes, we fight and we stand for our rights. The other layer is how do we do it, 'di ba? Of course, without being a pushover, 'di ba? Yun naman yung ano na parang, "Oh, whatever, whatever." Siyempre hindi gano'n, 'di ba? But also at the same time, 'di ba, we know how to communicate it well so that the message would be received well. At nandun kasi yung effectiveness nung communication.
I want to talk about your experience getting canceled since we were talking about cancellation earlier. Like you were canceled, kailan ba yun? Like just 20.
It was it was a learning zone. It was a learning zone, definitely.
So I want to talk about that, like what you learned out of it. What you learned about like, paying attention, listening, like doing some soul searching, looking inwards and trying to figure out like, am I not seeing anything that other people are seeing? And I wanna also connect that with like you as an advocate na parang do you feel na parang every time you say something like even when it's not related to the LGBT community LGBTQ plus community na you feel na people assume that this is the opinion of like kind of like a monolithic na parang isa lang ang opinion and because like you're a representative like this must represent like the opinions of like a majority from the community.
Ayokong sabihing pressure, because I don't think it's pressure. It's more of responsibility, that, and I acknowledge the fact that all of us, regardless of wherever we are and whoever we are, as long as we identify as queer and the world recognizes it, um, meaning nag-come out tayo and we were able to own of our identities, the moment we come out, we become a representation of the LGBTQ plus community. That being said, I recognize the fact that whatever I say and whatever I do especially that I have the platform right now, and I acknowledge that privilege of having a platform, and I will always be grateful for that. Um, it will be a reflection of the community, even if it's just my voice. That's why I guess I'm very careful. I'm very careful because I will always represent and I will always carry the queer flag with me, the trans flag with me, the LGBTQ plus flag with me. Um, and and magandang ground yon for me. Magandang foundation yon because um you you strengthen, you contribute to um to the understanding of the world about us. So, hindi siya pressure. It's a responsibility that I will hold on to dearly and strongly. Kaya yung nangyari nung 2021 was also um, a reflection point of who I am. And one important thing that I have learned is by our friend Joshua Limso, the 10-time Palangka awardee. Hi Josh. At sinabi niya sa akin, lumabas ka sa sarili dahil sa paglabas mo sa sarili, doon mo makikita ang kabuuan. That's so powerful because he allowed me to look into the power of responding over reacting. And in our world right now where we can easily voice out our thoughts, react to what was said or what was created. Yung reaction is an automatic action, 'di ba? There's a stimuli and then bigla, okay, ito yung thoughts ko about it, whatever, whatever. But the beauty of responding is that you pause, you process, you identify the possible intention of the message. You identify context. You you um ground yourself so that you'll be able to say um your insights in a more informed manner. At yun yung pinakamahalagang bagay, being informed, being critically informed. Kasi masakit naman talaga yung nangyari nung 2021 na, um, after, uh, after tweeting that line, that experience of me being a professor before, hindi ko hindi ko agad nakita yung pain points. Yung pain points na posibleng, ah, ma ma-trigger nung situation na yun. And that's what I acknowledge right now, na may mali sa sentence construction, mali yung ginawa ko, mali yung mali yung pag-unawa at pagtanggap, and I grew from it. I grew from it. And now, um, I take things with utmost care, with utmost care. Um, and I thank you. I thank our friends Jan Lee, Jong, Josh, Vino, um, who were by my side at a time in which I felt broken. I felt like the world was against me. But you all reminded me that this is not as bad as I think it is. And also at the same time that I could learn from that experience.
That's great. And thank you for sharing that. I think what I really like about what you said was, growing, because I think that's very important. As we stand our ground, we also have to ensure that we don't get stuck. Like not just like as queer people, but as people, di ba? Na parang minsan, like parang when we take a position, like we get stuck in it, like parang we start like blocking out like everything and we refuse to grow. But I think like,
Mm.
engaging with people outside of the community, basically engaging with other people is what is important. And thank you for sharing that.
And if I may say sorry, because of that, 'di ba last year nagkaroon ng parang prior to the airing of Sparks Camp, nagkaroon ng backlash in terms of diversity of the cast members. And with the 2021 experience, it allowed me to respond better on criticisms. It also allowed me to be courageous, and to be level-headed and to be calmer with backlashes, because these are um, definitely good grounds for learning. So
Yeah,
nagkaroon ng magandang conversation because of that.
thank you. And thank you for guesting.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.